Hello to everyone, students. Happy morning to you. And of course, in the last class, we have seen about the business communication process, right? It's a business communication. It is a sharing or passing of information between people, both inside and outside the organization. Okay, so and there are certain elements there in the business communication process. A sender will be there, a receiver will be there, and again, the sender will be encoding. He will be having his own idea, and that idea will be encoded into a message form, and the message is being passed on to the receiver through certain channel or medium. And after receiving the particular message, the receiver is decoding the message, and again he understands the concepts, he comprehend it, and whatever things he has understood, he just communicating back to the sender with the feedback. Okay, so sender is there, receiver is there, encoding process is there, decoding process is there, and a feedback is being given into the particular thing. So any type of communication, whether you go for what I say, personal communication or social communication or corporate communication, this is what the communication all about it and the process of communication. Now we are confining. I mean, we're just going to see about what are different types of business communication. Okay, so business communication, the communication that takes place in a business environment, that takes place in a business entity. It is called as a business communication. So what are the different types of communication or forms of communication that we will try to have some idea over here. Okay, right. So as I said earlier, this is a process we have seen in the last class itself. And when you just see the types of communication or the different types of communication, media or channel, so broadly we can classify into two major categories. One is verbal, another is a non-verbal. Okay, again verbal through oral or written. Okay, when you use the verse, okay, so then automatically constitute as a verbal communication. Okay, when I write good morning, when I write come and meet me, okay, so come and meet me, it is being written, so it is being sent to somebody. So when some particular person sees that, he understands that, okay, I have to go and come, go and meet the manager, I have to go and meet the MD. Okay, so he understands the thing, that he responds it. Either he comes or he just calls you or just whatever things he want to respond, and he will be giving the response of the feedback. Okay, so when you just put the message, when you put the message into a word form, or sometimes you may call the particular individual also. You may pick the phone, you may call him, okay, please come to my room, you may say like that. So now the communication is being transferred through some words, maybe through certain telephone or whatever it may be. Okay, so by orally or by written, okay, the words are being used, the communication messages are being used in the communication process. Okay, so when it is so, then it is called as a verbal communication. Verbal communication, you are using the words, very simple. Okay, and using the words, it is of two different forms, like oral communication, oral verbal communication, or written verbal communication. Okay, so again in the oral communication also, even you can just go for two classification, speaking or listening. Okay, so both the things are considered as oral communication only. And the written communication, it may be of writing or reading. Okay, so these are again the two types of written communication. But generally, it is of two types: oral communication, written communication. When you use the words, other things and all. Okay, and there is another major classification which is called as the non-verbal communication. Okay, so non-verbal communication, again it refers to you are not using any words over here. Without using a verse, without using any oral word or written word, whatever it may be, you could able to communicate something to somebody. All right. Okay. So, for example, somebody is coming and holding you gently. Then you understand that okay, he is sharing some, what do you say, love and affection to you. Other things are. Somebody is coming and holding very tightly to you. Maybe he may be in some anxiety, or he may be in some anger, or he may be in some depressed. Something it may be different. By touch itself, you could able to understand. So, what type of what do you say? What do you try to communicate? Sometimes you may see that our mother or father or the teacher or faculty members, they may be coming with some tensed face. Then you would understand that, okay, sadness is some tension. Okay, or sometimes they may be in a very angry face. They'll be giving the facial expression will be very hard or very, what do you say, in anger mode. Then you understand that, okay, so he's not in the right mood. Okay, so even without using a verse also, instead of saying that I'm angry, I am sad, I am happy, even without saying that also, you could able to very well understand. You can able to very well understand. So what type of, state that particular person is, what he is trying to communicate, what he is trying to express it. Okay, see, for example, when we see somebody, so automatically sometimes we may get, full joy. We'll be much more enthusiastic. We'll be feeling so so much of what do you say, energy, other things and all. But at the same time, same the people say, but when you see somebody else, then we may be having what do you say? We may think that okay, some sort of depression, some sort of anger, some sort of frustration, okay, some sort of tension may come to us. You understand? By seeing our face itself, they used to say, face is the index of the mind. Okay. By seeing our face itself, the opponent people will understand that what sort of message we are trying to pass on to him. I'm not happy with you. I'm happy with you. I'm joyful to you. I'm cheerful to you. I'm very sad to you. You understand that? So that message you could able to get out of this non-verbal communication also. Okay, so mostly the people used to say that in corporate world, not only in corporate world, even the social life or in the personal life, the communication, the non-verbal communication only gives the real meaning. Okay, so even you may say the words, no, no, I'm very fine, but your face itself shows that you are not fine. Your body language may show that you are not fine. You understand that? So they say that it is a powerful tool. It is a powerful. When a person is good at reading the faces of the people, when the person good at reading at the nonverbal gestures, nonverbal communication of the particular individual, he will be a better manager in an organization. You understand that? Okay, so non-verbal communication, again, it is of different forms you can see here. Your facial expression, your gestures, how you just, if you just say, if you just do this, okay, come here. If you just say that, don't come here. Okay, you're not using your words, I don't come, come here. You're not using it. Just keeping mum, you're just doing it. Keeping mum, stop. Keeping mum, salute. Anything it can be. So your gestures, your actions, that communicates something to the people. Again, the body language. Okay, you can very well understand that. Okay, somebody is leaning like this, somebody will be leaning like this, somebody will be sitting like this, somebody will be leaning like this. When you're leaning forward and you are just listening to somebody, it shows that you are having a lot of interest in their conversation, isn't it? You suppose if you are leaning backward and you are just sitting so, though you are just saying that okay, yes, 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 but actually you are not listening to him. You understand the body language? Okay, so how you are having, moving your limbs and how you are having your body, it all communicates, it all connotes some meaning to the opponent people. Okay, so that is the body language and the proximity, the closeness. Okay, so the proximity closeness means suppose if two friends are meeting, okay, even by seeing the distance, what's being maintained between two people, no, that communicates a meaning. If they are close, very together, right, shows something friendship is existing between them. They're the close friends or they're the close relationship, they're having it. But if some people maintain the distance, okay, for example, you are there and your friend is there. Okay, when you are just walking together or talking together, probably you'll be sitting next to next, or you'll be walking next to next. You will not have the distance, or you will not have the maintain the distance, or the proximity will be much more closer. But when you are talking to your faculty like me, when you are talking to your faculty professors, okay, normally you keep the distance. You understand that? You always have the distance between the two people. Okay, so the proximity will communicate something to the people that, okay, so what sort of things are there, what sort of emotions are there, what sort of relationship existing, everything. Okay, so that is the proximity. And touch, as I said earlier, the touch also will give you some meaning, and the personal appearance, okay, how your person is look like. Okay, so by seeing itself, you could able to very well understand that, okay, he is much more casual guy, he is a professional guy, he is a simple guy, he is saying a show off guy. Some meaning you will get it out of the personal appearance, what the particular individual is depicting. And again, the silence. Sometimes the silence also will give you a lot of communication to you. Okay, so it is a better communicator. So where you are being silent, why you are being silent. When you are being silent, that conveys a message to somebody, right? So these are the some forms of non-verbal communication without using words, without using the verbal or I would say oral or written words or verbal communication. Now what you are doing, you are trying to communicate something to somebody. Okay, so these are the major forms of communication in an organization. When you want to master the or communication skill, whether you want to understand somebody or you want when you want to be a good communicator, you should master these types of skills: verbal skill and non-verbal communication skill. Again, in the verbal, the oral communication, you should be very strong enough, and in the written communication, you should be very strong enough, and in the non-verbal communication, again, your facial expression, your gestures, your body language, your proximity, your touch, your personal appearance, and your silence, how good you are maintaining silence, all this counts how good you are in the communicating, how good you, how master you are in the communication skill. Okay, so if at all you want to be a good communicator in all this area, if you are mastering so, you could be a good communicator in the corporate life. Okay, so here in this value-added certificate, this is what we are going to touch upon, but we are not going to touch upon all these areas. So these are the some basic things. It has its own class, it has its own understanding. We need separate classes for this, and even the verbal also we are not touching upon this, but we are going to touch upon this written communication in an organization. Okay, so because normally in a professionally managed company, in a company, I mean corporate, other things and all, the written communication plays a very crucial role. Okay, so because even when you are communicating something, you may be a superior, but when you're communicating something to the subordinate expresses in the written form. Okay, whether you are placing an order, whether you are placing a suspension, whether you are placing anything. Okay, they always look into the some written forms only. Okay, and when you are communicating to the customers, again you have to go for written communication. Either way, you cannot get a good. Suppose you want to you want to place some order with some supplier. Okay, and you buy over your phone, you're just calling him. Okay, please send me a 10 what do you say 10 tons of so and so raw material. Okay, so you may give the oral communication, but normally he expects only the written communication. The order means nothing will be placed in a written format. When you place some circular, it must be in a written format. When you are placing some minutes, agenda meeting, whatever it may be, so always the people expect in the written format. And in this certificate course, we are going to focus on the written form of communication. Okay, so different letters, different communication rules, what you are using in the written communication that you will be discussing in this certificate course. Okay, so when you just see here the types of writing, other things and all, see here. You have emails, you have letters, memos, agendas, reports, promotional material, academic documents, research manuscripts, circulars, notices. Sometimes you are placing the order, you are placing the inquiry. You may also go for inquiry letters. Okay, so complaint letters, grievance handling letters. So many types are there. And in this particular certificate course, we'll be covering some most important component, right? Even going for some interview letters or resume preparation, all this is comes under. Okay, so how we have classified is so internal and external communication, external communication, and job-oriented communication. When you talk about internal written communication, the inside the organization itself, you will be having a lot of. When you take example of when you just talk on agenda, when you talk of minutes of meeting, when you talk on the circular, when you talk on memo, all this comes under the internal communications, right? Internal communication that you use inside the organization. But when you come for circle to the clients or letter to the some sales letters, you are your sales letter you are drafting, or you are going for some inquiry letter, you are placing some orders, you are going for some bank. Writing a letter to the banks, or you're writing some collection letters. So many letters you are supposed to deal with so many people outside the organization, and those written forms of communications comes under the what is that, outside the organization written communication. And when you come to the third component, okay, so particularly as a student, that we have included in this things also in the certificate course, there is a job-oriented communication. So probably releasing an advertisement, or writing a resume, or writing an interview letter, or a selection letter, or placing an appointment order. So many communications, or so many communication involved related to the job, or related to the what do you say employment. Okay, so that also we are going to concentrate on this particular certificate course. Okay, my dear friend. So in the next class, we'll be discussing on the different what I say the different types of written letters, and one thing what we are going to start with, that we'll be touching upon. Okay, so thank you very much. This will be posted in the Google Classroom, and a quiz will be followed by this particular class. So go through the content deeply, and try to answer the questions. Okay, so there is no any choice in the question. You have to attend all the questions, and you can attend only once, and try to finish off in the one time itself. Okay, well, so thank you very much. We will see in the next class with the some yet another concept. Thank you, friends. Okay.